So inheritance is one of the important concept related to your object oriented programming. So in inheritance, basically what is the use of inheritance? Inheritance promotes reusability. Now what is this reusability? Now there are two different scenarios. First one is, let's say you have already written a class. You have done all kind of testing. That class is fully functional. And now, later on, you feel that you need some changes in this particular class which you have already tested, which is already functional. There are two ways in which you can incorporate those new changes. The first method is, you can simply edit, you can simply change in the existing class. Now the disadvantage of that changing in the existing class is testing efforts will increase, because you have changed, you have done changes in the already working, already tested module, and if you do any change, then you need to do complete end-to-end testing. There are chances that with the addition of your new code, your existing working code may not work. So you need testing for your new code, you need testing for your older version of the code which was already tested and working, but again the efforts will be required for that. So this is not desirable. The next approach is, you don't do any changes in the existing code or existing class. Instead you can reuse whatever you had earlier, and you can add your own code in the next module. So by doing so, you are not disturbing what is already been written, tested and working. You are reusing the existing code, you are doing some modifications as per your requirement, you will test your new class and you will deploy the code. This is the reusability. Now let's say you want to develop a module, you want to develop a software module for two cars or two companies. Let's say you want to develop a module for Maruti car and Hyundai car. So Maruti car will have certain features. Feature 1, number of tires, feature 2, the color, feature 3, the speed, feature 4, seating capacity, feature 5, feature 6. Maruti car will have certain features. The Hyundai car will also have certain features in it. Now few features may be common in each say car, say Maruti car and this Hyundai car. So let's say you discuss about say 5 features. Okay, let's say we have identified 5 features in a Maruti car and 5 features in a Hyundai car. And if you don't know this inheritance concept, what we will do? We will create a class Maruti, and in that we will have this 5 features written in that class Maruti, and we will create a class Hyundai and we will write these features in a class Hyundai. Okay, So altogether, how many features we have discussed? 10 features, 5 for this and 5 for this. Now what inheritance says? Inheritance says that if you have a common features, let's say F1 and F2 are common. F1 and F2 are common features, and these features will be there in Maruti car and Hyundai car. Whereas F3, F4 and F5 are the unique features of a car Maruti, and F3, F4, F5 are unique features of a car Hyundai. So what inheritance says, you identify the common features. You create a class car. Don't name it as Maruti or Hyundai, you name it as a car, because these features will be there in each car. You create a class car with features F1 and F2, because these features are common, F1 and F2. And you inherit Maruti from this car. So when you inherit Maruti from car, so by virtue of inheritance, these F1 and F2 will be available to car Maruti, because Maruti is inherited from car. And you write F3, F4 and F5 as a separate or special feature for car Maruti. Similarly, you inherit Hyundai car from this car class. When you inherit, all the features mentioned in this F1 and F2 are accessible, are available in the Hyundai class. And in addition, these F1 and F2, you can add the special features for Hyundai car, that is F3, F4 and F5. Okay, so this is from the what you can say, the common things you have written in the car, the upper one class, and from this you have derived the more specialized versions. Say Maruti is more specialized version of a car, Hyundai is a more specialized version of a car. So this we call it as a base class, or we call it as a super class, base class or a super class. And this Maruti class, this Hyundai class, we call it as a derived class or a subclass. This we again call it as a parent class, and this we call it as a child class. Let's say again let us discuss this concept with one more general example. Let's say a hierarchy from grandfather to father to children. So this is the hierarchy. So let's say grandfather will have certain features. If you grandfather will have certain features, father will have certain features, this children will have certain features. Okay. So father will inherit the features from the grandparent, and in addition, let's say the feature is wealth. One of the feature is wealth. So father will inherit all the wealth from the grandparent, and in addition father can earn his own wealth. Father भी जॉब करेंगे, बिजनेस करेंगे, अपनी खुद की वेल्थ कमाएंगे. Then this class, this children class, whatever wealth accumulated here at this level, this children will inherit. In addition, this children will also work, okay, and accumulate his own wealth. So whatever features available at this level will get inherited to this level, will get inherited to this level. At this level you can add its own specific features, more features. At this level you can add its own features, more specific features. So this is basically the general concept related to inheritance. Now let us try to understand a very simple program based upon the theory that we have discussed now. Now let's say I have a small class, say class A. In the class A, I have two variables I and j, and I have one function. The job of this function is to print the value of I and j on the screen. This is my simple class A. Now, let me create another class B. Now this class B is not a normal class like class A. It is a special class. Why it is a special class? Because it inherits from class A. So when you inherit a class, then the syntax says you must write it like extends A. So class B extends A. The meaning of this line is class B is a subclass, is a child class, is a derived class from class A. Class A is a parent class and class B is a child class. Or it is a superclass, it is a subclass. So, class B is not a normal class, it is an inherited class from class A. So, whatever is available in class A will get inherited here, and in addition to these contents, class B has its own unique features written over here. So what is the unique feature of class B? It has written 1k keyword, 1k integer. One function is there which displays the value of k, and there is one sum function which performs the addition of I, j and k. K is mentioned here, and I and j, by virtue of inheritance, these I and j are accessible here, and I plus j plus k addition will be there, and this line will display the addition of the I plus j plus k. So these are two different classes, a base class, a child class. This kind of a inheritance, we name it as a simple inheritance. Now we want to understand what is happening here. What is happening over here? Now let us try to understand it more precisely. So for that, we created a class, a main function. Now, I have created an object for class A. For this class A, I have created one object. A super OB is equal to new A. The super OB is the object name for class A. So when I create a object of class A, so what will be the content of that object? It will contain a variable I, it will contain a variable j, and it will contain this show ij function. These three things will be there with the super OB, object. Now let me create a object of class B. So when I create the object of class B, what is the content of class B? One k variable, so your object will contain k. One show k function is there, so your object will contain this. One sum function is there. So this is the content of class B. But class B is not a normal class. Class B is a special class. It is inherited class from class A. So this will contain features from class A. What are the features available in class A? I variable, j variable, and show ij. So here I, j, and show ij function. So this is the complete object for class B, that is sub OB. Means the object of B will contain all the variables and functions of a class B. In addition to that, it is not a normal class, it is an inherited class from class A. So it will contain all the variables and functions from class A. Now what I am doing is using the super OB object. Using this super OB object, if I want to access I, so I can access like this: super OB dot I is equal to 10. I will initialize the value of I as 10. I will initialize the value of j as 20. Okay, and using super OB dot show ij, I will call this function show ij. I will display the value of I and j on the screen, that is 10 and 20. Other than these three things, I cannot do anything with the super OB, because super OB object has access to variable I, variable j, and show ij function. Now with the help of sub OB, with the help of this sub OB object, sub OB object has access to variable I also, variable j also, and variable k also. So I can write sub OB dot I7, sub OB dot j8, sub OB dot k9. I can initialize, I can access the values like this. Now using sub OB, I can call this show ij function and show k function. See, show ij function is written in the class A, but inherited here, so here it is available. So whatever is available in this diagram, I can access it with respect to this object. So sub OB dot show ij I can call. Show k is a function of class B. Using object of class B, I can access it. I have written show k function call. And I want to display the sum. So sub OB dot sum, sub OB dot sum, sub OB dot sum. So this is how the inheritance works. See if you can understand. See if you understand. सिंपल है. क्लास A के फीचर्स आर एक्सेसिबल इन द क्लास A. Class B has its own features. But since you have written extends A, so class A के features will get inherited here, and you can access this inherited features with respect to an object of this class, just like you are accessing show k, just like you are accessing sum. This is simple inheritance. Now member access and inheritance. Now in this program, what we have seen ki class A has certain features, say integer ij, some function show ij. Class B is a derived class, inherited class from this class A. So all these features are inherited here. So it will not be the case always. Okay, it will not be the case always. Say you have a class A, in that you have a variable I, and if you do not mention any specifier here, by default it is treated as a public. Let's say you create another variable j and you specifically mention it as a private. Okay, private int j, and you have a set ij function which accepts two arguments from the user and initialize the value of this I and j from the value of x and y. This is a simple class A, wherein you have one variable as a public, another variable as a private. You create another class B. It is not a normal class, it is an inherited class from class A. Total variable, one sum function, and the job of this sum function is to perform the addition of this I and j and store it in total variable. So here you will get an error. Here you will get an error. Why you will get an error? Because j variable is defined as a private in class A. Private variables are accessible only within the class in which they have created. So we have created private variable j in the class A. So j is a variable that can be used only from within class A. Private variables are not inherited. Private variables are not inherited. Okay. So in earlier program, I and j both were, we have not defined, we have not specified any specifier. So by default both were public. Since both were public, both got inherited in the class B, and you can access it here like this directly, no issues. But here you have specified that integer j is a private variable of class A. So private variables are not getting they are not inherited. So that's why you cannot refer j variable here directly. If you try to refer it here, you will get a compiler error. Okay. Now this is again, now this looks very lengthy program, but this is very simple. Try to concentrate. So you have a class box, 3 variables of class box. This is constructor number 1, this is constructor number 2, this is constructor 3, this is constructor 4. This program we have already studied. A box constructor which accepts an object as a reference and copies copy the content of one object into another object. This constructor accepts 3 arguments from the user and create a new object. If the user do not provide any argument, this default constructor gets called. If the user provides only one argument, the width, height and depth is initialized to the same that argument. And we have a volume function which calculates the volume and return whatever is the answer. So this is the box class. This is the box class. Now we have a class box weight. Now box weight is a class extends box. So it is a derived class from this parent class. So box weight is a class. It is derived from class box. Now box weight class, it has its own variable, say weight of a box. Box weight class has a constructor which accepts 4 arguments from a user and initialize the value of width, height, depth and weight. Why 4 argument? Say the box weight class. So box weight class. So what are the features in box weight class? The weight variable. Now box weight class is not a normal class, it is an inherited class from class box. So whatever features are there in class box are also available in box weight. So what were the features in box? Width, height and depth. So width, height and depth. All these 3 features will be inherited to the box weight class. So just like you can access weight variable, you can also access these 3 variables in box weight class, because these 3 variables are inherited in the box weight class. Now let's say you have created a working class and main function you have written, and you created a object 1, my box 1, box weight class my box 1 with 4 arguments 10, 20, 15 and this. So we know the constructor gets called automatically at the time of object creation. So the constructor for box weight class gets called. So 10, 20, 15 and this value is initialized here to the width, height, depth and weight value, weight variable. You created another object, my box 2 with this value. Constructor gets called automatically at the time of object creation. Constructor got called. And width, height and depth and weight, all these variables are assigned a value 2, 3, 4 and 0.076. Now you want to calculate the volume for this box 1 and volume for the box 2. So for the first box, my box 1 dot volume function. Now volume function is written in the class box, but whatever the features are there in class box are inherited here. Inherited here means you can access those features with respect to an object of box weight. So my box 1 dot volume, this function gets called. Whatever the answer is there, return the answer and you can print it here. My box 2 dot volume, same, the function will get called for the object 2. The volume gets calculated, whatever the answer return value will be here in volume function, and you can print the volume for my box 2.